You probably heard of Roth conversions. They're a big hot topic. And if you're close to retirement, or if you're already retired, my guess is you're questioning, did I miss the boat? Is it too late for me to convert some of this money to Roth? I want to tell you that you have not missed the boat. As a matter of fact, from the time that you retire up until the time that you need to start to take your required minimum distributions, there's a real sweet spot for most people to get a lot of money converted. I'm going to break it all down for you in the video today. Sit tight. Two quick ground rules. First things first, a Roth conversion, if you're unfamiliar, is the act of taking pre-tax money, retirement money that's to be taxed. Think traditional IRA, 401k, 403b, paying the tax on it now to get it converted into a Roth IRA and be free from tax in the future. I always think of it in terms of like buying a get out of jail free card. Now, nobody's going to jail, but you get the point. You're buying the freedom of that money. You don't have required minimum distributions in the future. You get to decide when to use the money without worrying about incurring taxes. If you just pay the tax on that money now to convert it into Roth money from traditional pre-tax money. The second big thing is it's not an all or nothing proposition. I talk to folks all the time who say like, I've got $1 million here in my retirement account and I don't want to pay tax on $1 million right now because that would just be crazy. And it would, and you shouldn't do that. But you don't have to convert everything all at once. You can convert it in pieces. You can create a plan, and I'll show you what that might look like for you to lower that amount of to-be taxed money in the future a little bit at a time and pay the tax as you're doing it rather than all at once. Not all or nothing. You can make a plan, and you can do it over multiple years. So I want to paint a picture for you. I want to talk about Bob and Judy, my favorite retirement couple. So here we go. Bob and Judy are both retired. Let's say that they've got $40,000 of annual taxable income right now. And for the most part, they're able to make it with that. They don't necessarily need the money. Maybe they're drawing a few $100 a month from here or there. And for purposes of our example, let's say they've got $80,000 in the bank between their emergency fund and some excess money that's sitting there, and they've got $80,000 in a non-retirement investment account, and then the bulk of their money is in their to-be-taxed traditional IRA, 401k. They've got $1 million sitting there, and they are now retired. They're full retirement age, so they're 66 in a few months, and they've retired, and they go, hey, we don't need to draw from the $1 million. We don't want to do that. We don't want to pay any taxes right now, and so let's just let it be. That's not an uncommon scenario. I see that a lot. Here's the problem with that. They're not going to have to take money out of that account until age 73. That's when required minimum distributions start at this point. Now, what's going to happen, hopefully, between 66 when they retire and 73 is that money's going to continue to grow and defer, which means that the tax bill on that money is going to continue to grow and defer. We don't like that. We'd much rather pay the taxes on it and get it into a place where the growth is all yours. Think about that. Every time you make $1 on that side of the fence, on the traditional side of the fence, Uncle Sam makes a piece of that dollar. If you can buy its freedom, if you can get it over onto the Roth side of things, every time you make $1 from that day forward, that's your dollar. Uncle Sam's not getting any part of that. And so here we are. We've got a relatively low taxable income because Bob and Judy are retired now. They're not working and earning income. And so they're paying a very low tax rate. And they've got a period of time before they're going to have to start to take distributions, which are subject to tax. And they can convert that money over that period of time. So that's what we want to do. Now, how would it work? It works like this. Right now, caveat for the compliance folks, this is not tax advice. Consult your CPA, consult your accountant for tax advice. I want to outline the concept for you here. Don't take this and run off and do something and then be like, well, I saw a video about it. It doesn't work that way. Talk to your person, make sure that this is right for you. But here we go. Let's say that they've got $40,000 of taxable income. Now I'll put the brackets up on the board here for 2023. As a married filing joint, they can get up to $89,000 taxable and stay in the 12% bracket. Now, if they cross over and they move to the 22% bracket, that's also okay. Historically speaking, we're not overly concerned about a 22% tax bracket. It's not particularly high. Matter of fact, technically, it's historically a little bit low, and they can get up to $190,000 a year set aside at the 22% bracket. Now, that doesn't mean they pay 22% tax on $190,000. That means they pay 22% on the difference between 89 and 190. They're only going to pay 12 below that. And so we might work out with them that they can convert essentially $150,000 a year butting up to the end of that 22% bracket without cresting over into the new higher limit. And they're able to pay the tax on that money each year for 7+ years before they get to required minimum distributions. Now, I don't want to bore you to death with math in the video, but suffice it to say, they've got a lot of wiggle room where they can start to convert that money over and get it tax-free, not just so that it's tax-free now, but so that all of the future growth of it is tax-free, so that it doesn't calculate into their required minimum distributions when you get there, because Roths don't have required minimum distributions. So it passes better to their beneficiaries rather than passing along a tax bomb, rather than saying like, hey kids, we did really well for our whole life, and by the way, here's this $2 million that's to be taxed. Now, I'm not crying for anybody who's going to inherit $2 million, but you get the point. At that point, they've got to really accelerate the money that comes out of that thing, which means that Uncle Sam is going to end up with more of your money, even if it's after you've passed on, than if you take the step now and say, I've got this sweet spot, I've got this window to start converting this stuff to buy the freedom of my money and keep it away from tax man, both now and in the future, for me and for my beneficiaries. You can tell I'm passionate about this. It's because it makes a lot of sense. And once you've retired, and if you're at that lower income level than you were while you were working, you've got a real opportunity there to create some change in your long-term financial situation without too much pain. Still got to pay some taxes, but that's the time to do it, as opposed to once you're adding an $80,000 or $90,000 required minimum distribution, which is what it's going to calculate to if your money continues to grow and you just leave it in the desk drawer until it's time to have to start to take some of that money out, let alone what it does to your beneficiaries when they inherit the money. So there's other things that you've got to consider along with this, what this does to your IRMA, what you might have to do there. That's your Medicare premiums. Are they going to go up because your income is now higher as a result of the Roth conversions? Another consideration is sometimes that pre-tax money can be beneficial to pay for long-term care in the event that you need long-term care and you don't have long-term care insurance. These are all things to be discussed with your accountant, with your financial advisor. They can work together with you to create a plan, but recognize that you've got an opportunity here to really shift your balance sheet and your tax liabilities in that window before your required minimum distributions start, but once you've retired and you've got lower income than you did back when you were working. I hope you see now that it's not too late. It's not too late for a Roth conversion. Even if you're into RMD territory, it can still make sense, depending upon the amount of the RMD and the rest of your makeup, to look at Roth conversions as well. No time like the present. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you soon.